Have you ever wondered whether traveling after 70 is a safe decision? While exploring new places and experiencing different cultures can be exciting, it's important to recognize that traveling at this stage in life comes with unique challenges. As we get older, our bodies and minds undergo changes that can make travel more demanding, unpredictable, and even dangerous. Many seniors might assume they can keep up the same pace as when they were younger, but the reality is that travel after 70 often presents unforeseen risks, ones that can quickly turn a dream vacation into a stressful or even life-threatening situation. In this video, we'll reveal 7 hidden risks that seniors need to consider before setting off on their travels, ranging from health emergencies to unexpected financial challenges. By the end, you'll be equipped with practical knowledge and tips to travel more safely and enjoyably. Stay tuned for the last risk, which is one many seniors overlook, but it can impact your peace of mind, health, and finances more than you think. Let's begin. Risk number 1: unexpected health problems and emergencies. As we get older, our bodies naturally undergo changes that can make managing our health more challenging. Many seniors face chronic health conditions like heart disease, diabetes, respiratory problems, or hypertension, which can be easily managed in familiar surroundings. However, travel, especially in unfamiliar environments, can put a strain on these conditions, making them harder to control and even triggering unexpected emergencies. Health emergencies while traveling can escalate quickly, especially in areas where medical care may not be as easily accessible or where there's a language barrier. Imagine experiencing a heart attack or severe allergic reaction in a foreign country where you don't have easy access to your regular doctor or the medications you rely on. This is a reality that many seniors don't think about until it's too late. In addition to chronic conditions, seniors may also face age-related vulnerabilities, such as weaker immune systems, reduced mobility, and slower recovery times. Even something as simple as a cold can turn into a serious illness if not properly managed. Traveling in remote areas, where medical facilities might not be up to par, or in countries with different health protocols, can make it even harder to get the care you need in an emergency. Let's take the example of Barbara, a 76-year-old woman who had been planning a trip to Japan for months. She had a history of high blood pressure and took daily medication to manage it. During her second day in Tokyo, Barbara suddenly began feeling dizzy and lightheaded. She brushed it off at first, assuming it was just the jet lag. However, by the evening, she was experiencing shortness of breath and chest pain. Barbara's husband took her to a nearby clinic, but the language barrier made communication difficult. The clinic didn't have the necessary equipment to fully assess her condition, and it took several hours to get her transferred to a larger hospital. Thankfully, Barbara received the care she needed in time, but the ordeal was incredibly stressful, and it forced her to cut her trip short. She later learned that her blood pressure had spiked dangerously, likely due to the stress of travel and the heat. Barbara's situation highlights just how unpredictable and stressful a health emergency can be, especially when traveling abroad. Before embarking on any trip, especially after 70, it's critical to consult with your physician for a thorough health evaluation. Make sure to have all your medications in hand and bring a list of them, along with any specific instructions or potential complications, in case you need medical care while abroad. Comprehensive travel insurance that covers medical emergencies, including medical evacuations and treatment for pre-existing conditions, is a must. Make sure your insurance plan explicitly covers you for international travel, as many domestic policies will not. Also, know the healthcare infrastructure of your destination. Research where the nearest hospital or clinic is located, what services they offer, and how accessible they are in case of an emergency. Being prepared with the right information can make a huge difference in the event of a health scare. Also, know the healthcare infrastructure of your destination. Research where the nearest hospital or clinic is located, what services they offer, and how accessible they are in case of an emergency. Being prepared with the right information can make a huge difference in the event of a health scare. Risk number 2: deep vein thrombosis, DVT. One of the lesser-known yet serious risks of travel for seniors is deep vein thrombosis, DVT. DVT occurs when blood clots form in the deep veins of the legs, typically due to prolonged periods of immobility, like long flights or lengthy car ride. These clots can be dangerous, as they may dislodge and travel to the lungs, causing a pulmonary embolism, which is a potentially life-threatening condition. As we age, our circulatory system becomes less efficient, and the muscles in our legs are less able to promote healthy blood flow. When you sit still for long periods, such as during long-haul flights, bus rides, or even extended drives, the blood in your legs can pool, increasing the likelihood of clot formation. For seniors, these clots can form more easily and be more difficult to detect before they become a serious issue. Traveling, especially across time zones or to far-off destinations, often involves long stretches of sitting. While this may not seem like a big deal to younger travelers, for seniors, it can elevate the risk of DVT significantly. Let's consider the story of Helen, a 72-year-old woman who had always enjoyed traveling, especially long trips across Europe. On one particular flight to Spain, Helen found herself sitting for hours without moving much, engrossed in a good book. By the time she landed, she noticed swelling and pain in one of her legs, which she dismissed at first, thinking it was just from sitting too long. However, over the next day, the pain intensified and she started feeling short of breath. After seeking medical attention, it was discovered that she had developed a blood clot in her leg, which had started moving toward her lungs, a condition known as pulmonary embolism. Fortunately, Helen received timely medical treatment, but the situation could have been life-threatening if left untreated. This experience served as a stark reminder of how even a relaxing trip can take a dangerous turn due to DVT. To prevent DVT, it's essential to stay active during travel. This means getting up to walk around at least once every 1 to 2 hours, especially during long flights or drives. Even simple leg exercises like ankle circles or toe taps can help improve circulation. Compression stockings are also a helpful preventive measure, as they help support the veins in your legs and reduce the risk of blood clots. Additionally, it's important to stay hydrated during long trips. Dehydration can cause the blood to become thicker, increasing the likelihood of clot formation. Avoid alcohol and caffeine, as they can contribute to dehydration, and make sure to drink plenty of water throughout the journey. If you are at higher risk for DVT or have a history of blood clots, talk to your doctor before traveling. They may recommend medication or additional precautions to ensure your safety. Hidden risk number 4. Dehydration is a common yet often overlooked danger for seniors when traveling. As we grow older, our sense of thirst diminishes, and the body's ability to retain water decreases. Many seniors may not feel thirsty even when they are dehydrated, making it difficult to stay adequately hydrated during travel. Dehydration can lead to fatigue, dizziness, confusion, and even more severe health complications. Travel, especially long flights or trips to hot climates, can accelerate the risk of dehydration. Airplanes have low humidity, which can dry out the skin and mucous membranes, leading to a greater loss of fluid. Similarly, high temperatures, particularly in tropical or desert destinations, can cause excessive sweating, further depleting the body's water supply. For seniors, dehydration isn't just uncomfortable, it can also exacerbate existing health conditions like kidney problems, heart disease, or diabetes. In severe cases, dehydration can cause confusion, fainting, and even organ failure. If left unchecked, it can derail an entire trip and lead to hospitalization. Consider the story of Alan, a 72-year-old who had planned a dream vacation to Thailand. During his flight, he didn't drink much water and assumed the air-conditioned cabin was cool enough to keep him hydrated. However, once he arrived, the hot and humid weather caused him to sweat heavily, but he didn't feel thirsty enough to drink enough water. By the end of the day, Alan began feeling lightheaded and confused, struggling to stay alert during dinner. By the time he sought medical attention, his dehydration had become severe, and he needed intravenous fluids to rehydrate. His trip was cut short, and he spent several days recovering, missing out on the activities he had eagerly anticipated. Alan's experience highlights how easily dehydration can spiral into a serious health issue, especially when traveling in a hot climate or after long flights. To avoid dehydration while traveling, make it a point to drink water regularly, especially during long flights or in hot climate. It's easy to forget to drink enough when you're focused on the excitement of the trip, so set reminders or carry a refillable water bottle to encourage constant hydration. Risk number 4. Increased fall risk. With age, the body undergoes various changes that affect physical stability. Reduced balance, muscle strength, and bone density can make falls more common and potentially more dangerous for seniors. For seniors, a fall can have serious consequences, turning an otherwise exciting trip into a nightmare. Navigating unfamiliar environments, whether it's a crowded airport, a cobblestone street, or a slick hotel floor, can present hidden hazards, especially when dealing with physical limitations. Consider Thomas, an 80-year-old who enjoyed hiking and traveling but hadn't fully accounted for the physical strain of his trip to the Scottish Highlands. While navigating rocky paths on his tour of a castle, Thomas lost his balance on uneven ground and fell, breaking his ankle. What seemed like a minor mishap turned into a serious issue, requiring immediate surgery and months of recovery. This unfortunate incident not only cut his trip short but also impacted his mobility for the long term. Thomas's experience highlights the dangers of underestimating how a fall can change the course of a trip, especially when the environment is unfamiliar and the risks are heightened by age. To reduce the risk of falls while traveling, seniors should consider using mobility aids, such as a cane or walker, especially when exploring new or unfamiliar locations. Before booking accommodations, ensure that they are accessibility-friendly, with features such as smooth paths, elevators, and handrails in bathrooms and hallways. When walking in tourist spots or public areas, always look out for potential obstacles like cracks in the pavement or uneven steps. Choosing sturdy, supportive shoes with good grip is another crucial step in preventing falls. Avoid wearing flip-flops or shoes with slippery soles, and make sure your shoes are comfortable for long days of walking. At the same time, seniors should pace themselves and take regular breaks to rest and avoid fatigue. Long hours of sightseeing or walking can increase the likelihood of a fall due to tired muscles or lack of focus. Don't push your limits. Remember that the goal is to enjoy the journey, not to overexert yourself. Risk number 5. Jet lag and sleep disruption. One of the most common challenges seniors face when traveling, especially across multiple time zones, is jet lag and disruptions to their sleep patterns. For seniors, the impact of jet lag can be more pronounced, causing more than just sleepiness. It can lead to fatigue, confusion, and even weakened immune function. Traveling long distances, particularly between different time zones, disrupts the body's circadian rhythm, which controls sleep and wake cycles. For seniors, adjusting to a new time zone can take longer, leaving them feeling mentally and physically drained. The result? You might find yourself exhausted throughout your trip, unable to enjoy activities, and struggling to adjust to your new environment. Jet lag can also aggravate pre-existing health conditions like heart disease or respiratory issues, making travel feel even more taxing. In addition, sleep deprivation affects more than just energy. It can impair cognitive function, leading to forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating, and poor decision-making. It also weakens the immune system, making you more susceptible to illness, an undesirable scenario when you're in an unfamiliar place far from home. Let's take Linda, a 77-year-old who planned a 2-week vacation to Australia. She was excited about the trip but didn't anticipate the toll of the long flight and significant time zone changes. Margaret found herself exhausted by the first few days, unable to adjust to the new time zone. She felt mentally foggy and physically drained, which affected her ability to enjoy the sights she had looked forward to. Her jet lag lasted nearly a week, and by the time she felt somewhat rested, it was almost time to return home. Linda's experience shows that adjusting to a new time zone can be especially difficult for seniors, and it's crucial to plan for rest and recovery when traveling across several time zones. The key to managing jet lag is preparation. If possible, try to gradually adjust your sleep schedule before your trip to align with your destination's time zone. This will help minimize the shock to your body when you arrive. Consider melatonin, a natural sleep aid, to help regulate your sleep cycle. Just be sure to consult your doctor before using it. Once you arrive, get as much natural sunlight as possible during the day. Exposure to light helps reset your internal clock and signals to your body that it's time to adjust. Avoid napping during the day, as this can make it harder to sleep at night. In the evening, make sure your room is dark and quiet to promote restful sleep, and try to stick to your usual bedtime routine, even in a different location. Finally, stay hydrated during your flight. Dehydration can worsen the effects of jet lag, So drink plenty of water and avoid caffeine and alcohol, both of which can interfere with sleep. Risk number 6. Changes in routine and medication management. While traveling, our usual routines are often thrown out the window. For seniors, this disruption can affect everything from meal times to medication schedules, potentially leading to health complications. As we age, we often rely on daily medication regimens to manage chronic conditions. Missing doses, taking medications at the wrong times, or not having access to the right medications while traveling can cause serious health risks. Seniors who take multiple medications or who have complex medical needs may find it particularly challenging to maintain their regular schedules while traveling. Time zone changes, irregular meal times, and unfamiliar environments can easily interfere with the timing and dosage of medications. Additionally, traveling in foreign countries may make it difficult to obtain specific prescriptions or even find pharmacies with the same medications. This can create confusion and increase the risk of medication errors. Beyond medication, the disruption to daily routines can affect everything from eating habits to sleep, making it harder to manage health effectively while on the road. Travel also comes with a different level of stress. New places, unfamiliar foods, long days, and the excitement of the journey can all take a toll on your body. Let's talk about Robert, a 74-year-old who had diabetes and relied on a strict medication schedule. During a trip to Mexico, he found it challenging to manage his routine due to the time zone difference and frequent changes in mealtimes. On the third day of the trip, Robert missed a dose of his insulin due to confusion about the time, which led to a dangerous blood sugar spike. By the time he realized the issue, he felt extremely weak and needed immediate medical attention. Robert's experience underlines the importance of maintaining a consistent medication schedule and being prepared when traveling to new time zone. Even slight disruptions can lead to serious health complications for seniors with chronic conditions. Before traveling, consult with your doctor to discuss any potential health risks or changes to your routine during the trip. If you take medication, bring extra doses and have copies of your prescriptions to avoid running into problems abroad. It's also a good idea to carry medications in their original bottles to help customs officers identify them if necessary. To ensure you don't forget your doses, consider setting alarms or reminders on your phone or using a medication management app. If you're traveling internationally, research the availability of your medications in advance, or ask your doctor for alternatives if necessary. Also, make sure to pack a first aid kit that includes items such as pain relievers, bandages, antiseptics, and any over-the-counter medications you use regularly. These can be invaluable when traveling to remote areas where medical supplies may be hard to find. As we continue, one hidden risk many seniors don't anticipate is the increased exposure to infectious diseases, as traveling introduces them to new environments and unfamiliar pathogens. Whether it's foodborne illnesses, respiratory infections, or tropical diseases, seniors' immune systems are typically weaker, which makes them more susceptible to infections. Even a minor illness can quickly escalate into something more serious when traveling abroad, especially if it requires medical attention in an unfamiliar country. The risk of exposure to infections is higher in certain regions, particularly in tropical climates where diseases like malaria, dengue fever, or Zika virus are more prevalent. Air travel, with its crowded cabins and recirculated air, also increases the risk of contracting respiratory infections, such as the flu or the common cold. Seniors are particularly vulnerable to complications from these illnesses due to their weakened immune systems, chronic health conditions, or medications that might suppress immune function. Even seemingly simple things, like eating unfamiliar foods, drinking unclean water, or touching contaminated surfaces, can lead to illnesses that are far more serious for seniors than for younger travelers. Something as minor as a stomach bug can result in severe dehydration, especially if you're not able to access the appropriate treatment quickly. Consider the case of Nancy, a 79-year-old who traveled to India to experience the culture and history. Eager to try the local cuisine, she didn't realize that her immune system wasn't prepared for the unfamiliar bacteria in the food. After a few days, Nancy developed severe gastrointestinal issues, which led to dehydration and fatigue. She couldn't continue with her planned activities, and the illness ruined what could have been a memorable vacation. Nancy's situation is a clear example of how seniors are more vulnerable to infections when traveling abroad, particularly in regions with different food and water safety standards. To minimize the risk of infections while traveling, it's essential to ensure your vaccinations are up to date, including any travel-specific vaccinations like hepatitis A, typhoid, and the flu. Before traveling, consult with your doctor about recommended vaccines and whether you need any medications to prevent illnesses in the region you're visiting. When it comes to food and drink, stick to bottled or purified water, even for brushing your teeth, and avoid raw or undercooked food. It's also a good idea to avoid street food, which may not meet health standards. In crowded spaces like airports and public transport, frequent hand washing or using hand sanitizer is essential to prevent the spread of germs. Carry disinfectant wipes for high-touch surfaces like airplane armrests, hotel remotes, and restaurant menus to further reduce your exposure. Traveling after 70 can be a rewarding and fulfilling experience, but it's not without its unique challenges. From health emergencies to jet lag, and from the increased risk of falls to exposure to new infections, it's essential for seniors to recognize the potential dangers before embarking on their next adventure. With the right preparation, however, these risks can be mitigated, and you can enjoy a safe and memorable trip. By being proactive about health management, staying hydrated, using mobility aids when necessary, and preparing for unexpected challenges, seniors can significantly reduce the dangers associated with travel. Remember, it's not about avoiding travel altogether. It's about traveling smarter and more safely. Now that you know the 7 hidden dangers that seniors face when traveling, what steps will you take to ensure your safety and well-being on your next trip? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know if you have any personal experiences or additional tips to help fellow travelers. Final tip: preparation is the key to a successful and stress-free trip. Whether it's planning your medication schedule, ensuring you have the right insurance, or knowing the healthcare options at your destination, a little extra effort before you travel can make all the difference. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel tips. Safe travels, and we'll see you in the next one.